Hello everybody, I hope you're all okay. So iOS 26 has been out now for slightly over a week. It's Wednesday today. So I wanted to talk to you some of the things I've liked and enjoying and liking about the new iOS. And some of the things that maybe I don't quite like. I've got a list here on my phone. So let's start with some of the things I do like. The home screen colouring thing. So I'll show you a photo hopefully, but I do like the fact that you can now have these clear icons, and actually they've been growing on me. Originally I was like, I don't like them. I do like the glass look, layered, textury sort of style. I like that. I quite like that. I hope that will continue into more applications. Currently it's just in the system stuff, but I don't know where it's supposed to be going. And that was my second point, liquid glass. I actually quite like it. I don't know. I don't know why. I like the feel. I like how it looks. It gives it this sort of depth, not like skeuomorphic depth, but I don't know. It just gives it this more natural, like as the bubbles sort of like move and like bounce and stuff. I know. I like it. I like it. I like it. There's a little. Have you seen the video of the bloke who put water on his phone and called it real liquid glass, and it's going like this? Watch that. It's on TikTok. I've said new tab bar, rich content. I think this just is talking about, the new tab bar along the bottom, and it's kind of putting the content first. And it's sort of along the same lines, but I thought that's quite a new feature that I really quite liked. Let's look at something I didn't like. This is quite a big one. It's the inconsistency of where the search bar goes. So sometimes you've got the search bar along the bottom, sometimes it's at the top, sometimes at the bottom. I'm like, where am I supposed to click for the search? At least before, you always knew the search bar was going to be at the top. I know that some of this is probably to do with applications that need updating to support the new models. But it's all over the place, even in some of the system applications. I'm trying to think which applications they are. I think it's Mail. Might be Mail. One of them. Let me have a look. You'll see the photos. So yeah, it's just really, really annoying. Let's get back to something I like. Something I like that's better. Visual lookup. I've put visual lookup. You know, this is the not the photo taking one, but the one where you take the screenshot and you just sort of, the one that they're trying not to call circle to search, but it is, isn't it? Really, you just sort of circle it. It said you tap to search. But yeah, I quite like it. I like how it's doing the lookup and how it comes at the bottom. I've also tried to integrate an app with that to allow me to do my own lookups on my own AI models, which I thought was quite clever. So yeah, it's quite easy to integrate with as a developer, so hopefully more apps will be coming up down there. I've said the new phone app. This is a bit controversial. I'm not talking about the new features like phone screening and hold, whatever it's called. But I mean like the actual layout of the phone app. I like how they've made it a bit more compact and that you've got your favourites at the top. Because most of the time I'm on the recents. And I phone people from recents. I don't go into favourites. I don't go through contacts. I'm normally phoning the same sort of people. Every now and again I do. But I think the fact that they've put the favourites at the top so you always know you can just click on them. I think maybe some ability to change the size or something, I don't know, would just make it slightly better. I don't need them to be quite as big. I don't want to have to scroll that way for favourites. But maybe that's because I've got too many favourites. Anyway, I've said the settings app that actually works now. I don't know if you use the settings app in iOS 18, but search was screwed up. Like, you couldn't search and it wouldn't find any of the settings for the applications. But now it seems to be much, much better at searching. And can actually find the features you're looking for. Like when you're trying to search for a setting in an application, it finds it and shows you where to go. Just tap on it and you're there. Right. That's all the things that I liked. There are other things that I like, but those are the main things that I wrote down. I'm like, yes, come on, add these features. I'm pleased we've added them. Things I didn't like. I've said the inconsistency of the search bar. Keyboard. They seem to have changed it. I can't quite work it out. But it types differently. It just sort of types funny. I don't know if that's me, but they've changed something. Because, of course, they've changed the styling and stuff. I think they've changed the way it detects what keys you're pressing. It's just not quite as good. I know it's a beta. I'm not saying that this is perfect. That's why none of my things are to do with laggy AI and not AI and laggy UX and UI and stuff like that. But I just think these are things that hopefully will get improved over the future. More clicks. I think the camera application is a key point for this. In some places, they've reduced it and made it a bit clearer on where you go to get some of the settings, like you go up there or whatever. But they've added more clicks, like, in a lot of places, you're pressing more buttons to get to a menu that was originally just at the bottom or at the top. Do you know what I mean? I guess it's cleaner, but I don't like it. I don't like pressing more buttons to get to something when previously it was one tap. Now it's three. Do you know what I mean? I've also said less intuitive. I think that stems from that one, that actually some of the features have become more hidden and not so obvious what they're going to do. I do like the fact they've added the alert pop-up to now come from wherever you've tapped. So when you tap, you get the alert pop-up below. I think that's very nice as opposed to being in a standard place. But I don't think they've made it very intuitive on what you can click on and stuff. I just think that needs some adaptation to fit better. What I haven't got written down, but was quite obvious one, is the control center. If you swipe down in the control center, you just feel like you're looking at the home screen with some buttons on top of it. It needs a more opacity on the background. It just doesn't quite work. It doesn't look quite right. But of course, that's coming hopefully in future betas, because this is the first beta. I put glass animation, but I don't know what I mean. I know what I mean. You know, on the home screen, you're supposed to be able to rotate the phone like that and stuff and see the, like, animation, like the glass are jabbed. I can't see it do that. I know it's a beta, but people say they can see it do it. I watch Brandon. I don't know if you watch Brandon. He does iOS videos. I watch him, and I'm like, he's saying he can see it, and I can't see it. I'm like, don't do it. I don't think he does it. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got written down. I just thought I'd share you my opinions. I'll show you my opinions as well, because you'll have seen photos. But yeah, anyway, see you in the next one. Goodbye.